You guys, thank you for joining. Thank you for everybody that is here. I'm ready for to get this thing started, but before we get this thing rolling, you know I do my buffer of starting now. Sure, it's about to start and all that. So I figure let's do it a little bit different for one of the videos that I just put out. If you haven't watched it, enjoy.
God, seems like 1,000 years ago. I fought my way out of that cave, became Iron Man. Realized I loved you. I know I said no more surprises, but I was really hoping to pull off one last one.
The world has changed. None of us can go back. All we can do is our best. And sometimes the best that we can do is to start over.
I saw all these people die. I keep telling everybody they should move on. Some do, but not us.
Even if there's a small chance, we owe this to everyone who's not in this room to try.
We will. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
I like this one.
Yo, what's going on? I thought about, putting my starting now. And I was like, you know what? I like this little video I made. And I put it together kind of last minute. I'm so hyped about the season. And I was like, let me just roll with this. And then I was like, maybe do that as a starting for today. Well, let's do that. Let's just do that. Anyway, shout out to everybody that is here. Let's go roll call real quick. Terrence, Baltimore sports fans, Joshua, Aaron, Micah, and Raven, Baltimore boy 410, Matt Williams, Paul Masick, and I think I called Joshua Aaron, but if not, there is another one. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining. That video, 2-something minutes, is out there in my channel. If you want to send it to anybody, you can send it to me. Got me a little hype, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm biased because I made it. So, okay, let's go real quick. Today we're gonna do some phone calls later. Shout out to Make the Dog. Always good to have you here. Let's talk real quick here about the AFC North talk. And the AFC North talk, we did safety this week, and it got heated. It got heated. Not with me, but with Ace, my guy. Shout out to my guy Ace and Q when Q ranked the Bengals 4th in safety. Now, I was surprised about that. I ranked the Ravens 4th. I know I got some flag from the Ravens fan base. To be honest, look, I like our safety, but my opinion, our safety, we have 2 strong safeties. I'm hoping the Sean can develop a little bit more into a free, but I think also the Ravens don't think neither of them can be a free. This is the reason why they spent a 3rd round in Stephens, right? And Stephens, their hope is that he can become a free, and then one of those two, meaning Clark or Elliott, can become a strong moving forward. I think both of them are free agents this year. So I like our safety core, but all the other 3 teams have Pro Bowl caliber safety, all pro caliber safeties. Overall ranking became Steelers first, second Bengals and Browns tie. and the Ravens 4th. I personally rank the Ravens 4th, and then I have the Steelers 1st, Bengals 2nd. Jesse Bates for me is an animal, but after that, we'll see. He needs to lift the team a little bit more, in my opinion. The Browns have a lot of talent, but what is that talent? Meaning, have they gel? Have they question? And this is a legit question. John Johnson, right? Dude plays well, like his his demeanor, like his intensity. But what the Browns need is a free. Is my dude a free? I think he's more of a box safety, strong safety. So the Browns might have the same problem the Ravens have, too strong safety. At least so Bates is a free. Minka's definitely a free. The rest of these safeties are box safeties. The strong safety. John Johnson can play a little bit of free, but I don't think he can play a lot of free. I can definitely get exposed. So in my opinion, that's why I put them in third. I said Browns can go up, but I need to see it. I said make sure those received. But anyway, I'm extremely hyped. My Matt Williams, me too, bro. Me too. Gotta retire Oliver. Yeah, I see you. I give JJ3, huge talent, Delpit or Harrison. Who knows? I agree with Delpit will be a great free if he comes all the way back. Yeah, but he has a big and the reason here, by the way, for those for Mick the Dog and Browns, is you pay John Johnson some good though. You didn't pay him to be a strong. Harrison is pretty much taking that strong safety. Can they substitute John Johnson for Harrison? Sure. But you pay him, in my opinion, John Johnson, to see if he can be a free, to see if he can develop or solidify that free safety. In my opinion, I see this movie so many times. The Ravens will allow with rookies, but at least with rookies cheap. But I see it so many times in the NFL. This team takes great player X and says, you know what? You were a great nickel corner. I'm gonna pay you as an outside corner, plug you there. Dude sucks. Or great strong safety, I'm gonna make you a free. Dude sucks. Or you know what? You were a great interior. I'm gonna make you an outside because you should be able to outside rush. And the dude sucks. So that is the question. With John Johnson, right? I think if the Browns are smart, they should keep it strong, but I think they're gonna try to put him in free. And he should be okay in free. But I don't know if he's going to be like that Pro Bowl safety that they think they're getting. Anyway, Lamar looking sharp after COVID, but those wide receivers dropping balls for Lamar, they got used to weak balls from. It's been to practice. And we'll talk about this now. So going to preseason 1, right? So remember. Oh, wait. Hold on. If you want to be part. What happened here? Hold on. Okay. If you want to be part of the show, go make sure you text 443-292-2337. 443-292-2337. It's like texting a number from Maryland. So obviously you need to have texting in your plan, blah, blah, blah. But nothing special. If you text me, I'll call you back. I'm dropping stuff. If you want to be in the show again. Okay, so saying that, by the way, shout out to Devin and Aaron. Saying that preseason number 1, what do you expect? What do I expect? Or what would I like to see? First of all, Lamar has to be there for at least a series. This is not your typical preseason 1. This should be treated as a preseason 2. And preseason 2 as your preseason 3. Preseason 4, essentially, you want them to be there as snap, but I get it. Okay, so I want to see Lamar 1 or 2 drives, okay? 1 or 2 drives for Lamar. O-line. Stanley should not play. He just can't got back. No. So whoever you're going to put there in left tackle, Phillips, whoever. That dude, okay. Left guard. I'm very interested to see who's the starting left guard for that day. But let me assume it's Powers because that's going to be my narrative. My narrative has been Powers is going to start over Cleveland. I know you Ravens fans like, no, Cleveland. I think Powers, but whatever. Whoever it is, that person X, call him whatever, that person should be at least a quarter. At least. I'll put more because there's a battle. I'll put at least a quarter. And you know what? If you're between Cleveland and Power, I'm even okay if you want to swap them. Let's say you do two series, with Lamar. Series 1, Power. Series 2, Ben Cleveland. I'm okay with that. Bozeman, at least a quarter. At least a quarter. Again, he needs reps at center. Then you go right guard, Seidler. If he plays, which I doubt it, then one series, but more probably. Well, actually, if Seidler doesn't play, you might see. You know what? I will put Macari there, right guard. You know why? Because I want to see the battle. I want to see Cleveland and our guy Powers battling for the left guard in that position. I don't want to flip. Go there. And then Alejandro Villanueva, apparently he's struggling, right? In that right tackle position. Well, if he's struggling so much, you know what I would like? I would like to see a half of Alejandro because he needs tons of snaps. I saw Jason Owe beat him, and I understand Jason Owe has been having a good camp. He's fast. My dude Alejandro Villanueva is a veteran tackle. If Jason Owe is beating him easily, then Myles Garrett's going to just destroy him. T.A. Watt's going to destroy him, right? So, saying that is what I want to see for those guys. In the case of the running backs, between J.K. and Gus, quarter and a half. Then like Hill and whoever is RB4, I can't remember right now. Receivers, Bateman. I want to see Bateman at least a quarter, right? I want to see him. And by the way, if you want to my analysis after the game, I'm not gonna have it right after the game. Next day, I'll watch it in the morning, and then the following, so the game I think is a Thursday, so I'll watch it on a Friday, and then Friday night. I might do a live stream, I'm not sure, or I'm just going to put a video of what I saw, okay? Just as a disclaimer. So receivers, I was saying, Bateman, at least a quarter. Sammy Watkins, series of 2, should be fine. Quarter. Wallace, 3 quarters. Duvernay. Oh, it's Saturday, Mary? Ooh, well, I'll watch it Sunday morning. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. So I'll watch it Sunday morning, and I'll give you guys my thoughts on Sunday. Who do we have? Boykins is not going to play. Duvernay. Yes, Duvernay. Yeah. I always confuse it with Duve. At least 3 quarters as well. And Perche might play 3 to 4 quarters for all we know. So those 3 receivers, Duve, Perche, and Wallace, at least 3 quarters. You want to see a lot of reps from them. And against the Bateman, I think a quarter, right? Maybe Lamar's there a little bit more. Boykins is not gonna play, and then the rest is just fillers. Did I went through the offense? Yeah, I went to the offense. So now defense, right? The vet D-line. If they want to take off, like B. Will, Campbell, Wolf, sure. If they want to do a series, sure. Matabuki, you want to see him there for like a quarter, right? Like a good quarter. Ferguson, my boy Ferguson better play at least a half, maybe more. Jason Owe, you want to have him with, in my opinion, for at least a half. Remember, Jason Owe is very raw, so you want him to practice. You want him to do snaps. So you want Jason Owe there a lot. Houston is not going to play. I'm missing someone, man. I hate when I'm missing someone. Oh, Bowser. Bowser can be there for like a series or 2, if that. I mean, don't worry about that. Then we're going to go to corners. Juice or Peters, he ain't playing. Marlon Humphrey, he ain't playing. Or very little, if any, right? Tavon Young, that guy I want to see. I want to see Tavon for at least a quarter. You're like, Sonny, dude, this was injured. No, that's why he needs to be there, right? He needs to be there. He needs to practice. He needs to get some game action. He needs to get some of that flow. Who else? You want to see a lot of the rookies, right? Oh, Pat Ricard, You know what I want to see Park Ricard? In the D-line. I don't need to see him a fullback. Oh, tight ends. That's what I miss. I want to see Oliver. Oliver should play there a half, at least a half. Mandrews, whatever. He can be there with Lamar and then just be sitting. Okay, and the D-line. Yeah, I mean, whoever. I mean, the D-line is mostly veterans, so the D-line should be fine. Linebackers, you want to see PQ there for a good couple series. You want to see Harrison for a half. LJ for a couple series, and then you want to see Board for probably the whole game. And Alaka also, Alaka was healthy. Sean Wade, you want to see Sean Wade. You want to see my dude Averett. You want to see Averett also. Those guys are gonna play a lot. I'm missing another outside corner. You want to see Stevens, right? You want to see him in the free safety. And again, he gets beat, whoever cares, but you want to see him there. You want to see, and I'm excited about this, Washington, right? You want to see Washington. I forgot the TCU. You want to see him there. You might want to see him there for 3 quarters. On offense, you also want to see Mason, right? The fullback that we drafted the 5th round from Michigan. You want to see him there. Okay, so let me see here some of the comments, and then we'll keep going here. Shout out to Ravens C. I hope they don't play Lamar. I hope they do Thomas Morgan because he should, again, not much, but a series or 2. He needs to get back to that timing. Yes, the rookies you want to see get some live reps. Yep. Justin Eggman says, I want to see Brandon Stevens. Yes, you should see Brandon Stevens. I'll be pissed if I don't see Brandon Stevens. Tavon needs to get some game dog batting. Yes, he needs to be in the field. I think Ford will be there for a series or 2. Yeah, he's a veteran. I don't think they're going to put him on. I want to see the young pass rushers. And Justin Hill will get a bunch. I always forget about Chris Board. Yeah, man. I tend to forget, but remember, he got a lot of playing time last year. He did. Give up TD, Chris Board. But he played a lot last year. Tanya says, I want to see James Burchett, Duvernay, and the O-line, Brandon. Yes, I agree. And again, the O-line, guys. The O-line should get a lot of reps. Not Stanley. Stanley's coming out of an injury. Next week, week 2, you should see Stanley. Not this week. But Cleveland, Power should get at least, in my opinion, at least a half each. So let them battle it out. And then you can put McCarr in the right guard, and the guy that we drafted last year from Michigan, he can be in the right guard. Who cares? And Bozeman should be there at least a quarter, maybe more, practicing that snap. And then you can put TCC in there. And I guess Phillips on the right tackle. I will say this, and I said this also before. Look, you may agree or disagree with Phillips, meaning you may like the guy or not as he's playing, but I think the Ravens do a disservice every time you put him in guard. He is not a guard. He's an okay tackle. He's a horrible guard. Like I can probably be as good as a guard as he is. As a tackle, it's great. No, sorry. Break that right. He is okay. But as a guard, he is terrible. So please, just Ravens, please. Just leave him in the right tackle position. Meaning, make Alejandro Villanueva play a half because he needs the reps. And then you put Phillips on the left and the right, whoever you want. Just roll with him. I want to see Oway in highs. I forgot about highs. Yes, you're going to see a lot of highs. And you should see a lot of Oway. Oway should play at least a quarter, in my opinion. I really want to see Bateman and Dylan Wallace. I think Bateman should play a quarter. I think Wallace should be 3, at least 3 quarters. Ray Washington should get a lot of playing time. I agree with Raven, but I'm not a fan. For me, that was the worst pick last year. I'm still not a fan. I'll be surprised he makes the team. That's just me. That's just my opinion. But he should be playing a lot, especially for the second half on. Well, actually, no. Washington will have a lot, especially if you think about B-Will. He's not going to play. In my opinion, he shouldn't play. And then Cam should not play. And then Wolf should not play. Or maybe a series, right? So after that, you had Jelly. You ain't going to make Jelly play a lot. And after that, Matabuki should play, in my opinion, quarter and a half. And then Washington, right? And then again, in my opinion, Pat Ricard should be playing more D tackle. So I want to see. Hold on. Aaron Butler says, remember, guys, if anybody wants to be on the lines, the number is 443-292-2337. It's 443-292-2337. Okay. I want to see Stevens, Washington, Washington D tackle safety. Washington D tackle again. He was a rookie for last year. Washington safety. I think he's getting a lot of playing time. Free safety out of TCU. Remember, Joker and Clark might just play very little, and after that, you want to see Stevens and you want to see Washington. They both competing for the same kind of position, free safety. You want to see who's making the plays, right? And go from there. Stevens is changing positions. So your thoughts will be that Washington should be ahead of Stevens, right? Probably Washington is stature and all that. But the thing is, Stevens went for a running back to a corner and now to a safety. Hold on. So don't be surprised if Washington is playing a little bit better. Don't be surprised if Stevens makes a lot of mistakes, because Stevens right now is a guy that should make the team playing special teams and learn this year, so next year he can be an impactful player. Makes sense, right? I hope I can watch the game on Yahoo Sports app. Yeah, I'm hoping I can watch it on my YouTube TV. It should be fine. It should be fine because I put that VPN. I want to put the secrets out there. Who is your second string QB? Well, that's a good question, Mick the Dog here. And that's going to be a good battle, because right now that second position is between Trace McSorley and Hundley. And if you ask me, Sonny, if you're a betting man, who do we keep up? Hundley has to beat Trace by a lot, because Trace cannot, not my opinion, I'm pretty sure he cannot be in the practice squad by playing time and all that. I think Hundley can still be in the practice squad. So I think the Ravens probably say, wink, wink, can you go to practice squad, stay there? Hundley, Trace, you stay here to back up, and so on. Okay. Fantasy says, I want to see Josh Oliver. I think he is a steal for EDC. Oliver, the problem with Oliver has never been talent, right? The problem with Oliver has been health. So right now, I'll say yes, it is McSorley. Thomas Morgan says, I'm guessing they start the game with a left tackle and Phillips a right tackle. That's why I don't want to see Lamar Art there. If they do that, that's horrible. Yeah, the reality is, Thomas Morgan, even I think that you flop and you put Phillips in left tackle and you just put a guy there to chip and to help Lamar. But you want to see, Villanueva should not be taking any snaps in left tackle. We want to see him the right tackle, because it could be because he's struggling because he's just used to just pivoting left instead of just opening his hips right? I don't know how many years he was in the league before going to the Ravens. He's used to opening his stance, opening his hips left, and now he's doing it to the other side, to the right. So obviously this looks like it's taking him some time. So I don't want, if you put me on that right tackle all day, don't put him in left. Now, Venera can play left if for some reason, and hopefully that doesn't happen, Stanley cannot go or he gets injured, that's when you put him in left in a game. So I can think. I couldn't think of Huntley. Is Huntley the number 2? Huntley is the number 2 number, but I think you have Trace, in my opinion, right now as a second string, and then Huntley there. It's between Tyler and Huntley. It's okay. Wait. I'm mumbling there. Yes, we're gonna see Josh Oliver. I got a real good feeling. Yeah, I'm all in. If he's healthy, he should be fine. But also, don't get sucked into practice highlights. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, so let me just do one of the callers here waiting. Hopefully you guys can hear. Okay, hopefully you guys can hear him.
Hey man,
Hey, how you doing? Before we guys,
I'm doing good.
can you hear Azana talking on the tube? Give me a thumbs up. And Thomas Morgan, yes, I think at this point, Phillips is your swing tackle. Okay? Give me a quick thumbs up if you can hear Izana talking or when he talk. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
Hey, man. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. I'm hyped. I'm hyped because we're talking about preseason game number 1. It's just 3 preseason games, and then we're back to the action.
Right? My God, I don't know what it is, but the Super Bowl felt like it was, I don't know, a few months ago, and I'm excited for this new season. There are a few things that I wanted to talk about with you, and well, for starters, I wanted to talk about one, what you think the wide receiver depth chart is going to look like, not just for this year, but the years following. And personally, I think they're only like for the next 2 or 3 years. I think there are only like 4 or 5 people that I want to see. I want to see Bateman, Marquise, Duvernay, and Prochet. Those are the 5 that I want to see stay on the Ravens roster. And specifically, I want to see for this year, like I want our wide receivers, the playing time that they're going to get. I want to see like Bateman and Sammy. I see those 2 playing the X receiver. And then in the slot, you'd have, I don't know, probably 3 guys rotating in between with, I don't know, Duvernay. He's a slot-only guy, in my opinion. Bateman, since he played a lot of slot over at Minnesota. And, I don't know, probably Marquise Brown so that you could scheme him up really quick. And then the wide position, you'd probably have a rotation between guys like Marquise, Tylen, and Prochet or Boykin, whoever comes.
I mean, Bateman also play outside.
Sorry?
Bateman also play outside. He played both.
Yeah, he plays both. I said I wanted him to be X with him and
my bad.
Sammy Watkins. I wanted those 2 to rotate between. How would you like the Ravens to like assign the wide receiver roles?
You will see Bateman a lot on the outside. You will also see Hollywood and Watkins. I think those are the primary 3. With the 4th being Wallace in occasional time, but you're not going to see Wallace much, in my opinion, unless he kills preseason and he keeps climbing, right? And then on the slot,
think he's an instant impact.
He might. Historically, we haven't played those guys that much, especially right now. Think about this. You think about Brown, Watkins, Duvernay, Brown, Watkins, and Bateman. So he is at least 5th. If I didn't forget anybody, I might have.
Yeah.
So that's gonna limit his time. Duvernay slot, in my opinion, yes, all day. Hollywood, you can't put him in the slot. I think he likes it. Hollywood is great, in my opinion, running routes in the slot. The problem that I have with Hollywood is, as soon as he catches this, if he's in the middle, he doesn't see contact. He would just lay there.
Yeah.
So I don't like that.
I don't know if I've ever seen him get tackled. Like, I've seen him take a big hit.
Yeah, I think very few, because he usually just goes down before. Oh, and Prochet can definitely play it on the slot. I think it all depends. For example, in 3rd and middle, you know what Prochet can do? He can definitely fill that the role that Snead left. More possession guy, good hands, chain mover. Hopefully Prochet can fill that, because I wouldn't consider Duvernay that guy, but I mean Bateman and Wallace could be those guys. Hollywood is not that guy. So, and I don't know what Sammy Watkins will be here, but I think that's a good thing to be if you're Prochet, right? And that would be a big step.
For the guy, as you said, the chain mover, the guy with good hands. Personally, I think it's Tylen. I love his hands, honestly. With Prochet, I don't know what it is about Prochet. He has really good hands too, but I haven't watched as much of him as I've watched a lot more of Thailand, and I'm a lot more confident in him as that guy you described, the chain mover. Also Bateman. I love his hands.
Yeah, no, I agree. They're rookies, and one is a late fourth round pick in the case of Thailand, for a reason. So I think expectations, and this is where Ravens fans then after a year are not talking about it. Think about this, and we all fall into this trap. But think about when we drafted Duvernay last year. People were very hyped. This year, people are barely talking about Duvernay. And that could happen to Wallace next year because we put this expectation like, oh my God, this guy's going to kill it. No. There are mid-round picks for a reason. So lower your expectation, let him learn. Prochet had a year for him to learn. So if Prochet has impact, that's crazy because it's a 6th-round pick in the second year. That's great. I usually think those are more third-year thing. But if he has impact, then that's great. I mean, if Tylan Wallace has impact, that would be great as well. But I'm thinking people are having expectations Wallace is going to just create impact. It's like, if he does, amazing, right? I think he has the tools for being a good receiver in the NFL. But just everybody just take a breather. Let's lower it up. At this point, make the team, do special teams, make sure when you're there, you make the play. And that's why I think he's going to play a lot in the off season or in the preseason. Because both Prochet and him. Anything else?
Well, personally for me, in a year or two from now, my dreams, well, not dream scenario, but what I project for the Ravens wide receiving core to be is, I don't know, primarily Marquise and, Bateman as our X, like a year or two from now. Duvernay, Marquise, and Bateman, all of those guys rotating from the slot, but primarily Duvernay. And on the Y, you'd have a rotation between, I don't know, Marquise, Tylan Wallace, because those are your guys that you'd want to run. Goes with slants. Marquise more often. Well, yeah, what I'm trying to get at is there would be your prototypical number 2 receiver, while Bateman's your X on the other side, all on his own, beating one-on-one. But that's how I project it going forward.
I mean, honestly, disagree. I think the Ravens are very young. Let's see where our cap is. Their hope is Bateman could be in number 1. For me, if Bateman can become that kind of like AJ Brown, oh my God, then because I need a physical receiver.
I see more as a Keenan Allen, Michael Thomas.
Maybe, yeah, but I want him to be physical, which right now he is physical-ish.
Yeah.
I want an AJ Brown is like a bulldog, like a Smith, like Anquan Bolden. Yeah, that type of guy, right? I would love that.
Give me the ball.
Guy. Yes, just give me the ball. I will F you up if you don't get me the ball. So, but yeah, right now, I mean, we'll see because we're very young receiver, right? Sammy Watkins is like old in this receiving room. I think he's 27. So we are super young. I just need the guys to gel because we have to score for a couple of years. So next year when we go to the draft, we don't hear, oh man, we need to draft a receiver. No. Next year we need to draft something else. I have a lot of ideas, but not a receiver.
Preferably defensive line.
Yes, D-line is one. Outside linebackers another one.
Okay, so my next topic, I was actually going to talk about Greg Roman, but I just thought about the defensive. Well, I wanted to talk about the future of the Ravens, as in like a year or two from now, from when for once Lamar gets his huge contract and they're a lot more tight with cap space. Right now, the Ravens next year, including Lamar Jackson's 5th option, he's going to be like a $22 million cap hit, and they're projected to have $29 million. That number's probably going to go down maybe by $10 million or so once they pay Mark Andrews, and that's the only big contract other than Lamar that I could think of that's going to get signed next year. And they're going to have, I want to say maybe around $20 million in free cap with Lamar's 5th option. And personally, I think Eric DaCosta, I remember, I think it was Quincy who was critiquing him for not being aggressive during Lamar Jackson's rookie season, but I kind of see the plan where the Ravens build up assets and they always want to make sure that they're never in a bad cap situation. Like when you look at most of the Super Bowl contenders, they're right next to zero, where they're right next to breaking even, where like they have a few $1 million in cap space, but a lot of them have yet to sign their young quarterback, or their young quarterback's cap hit has yet to hit. And Lamar, it seems more like the Ravens are playing the long game, where if we're a Super Bowl contender for this many years, eventually we'll end up winning it. And I kind of like that approach. Thoughts?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, that's what they want. I think. I mean, I see Quincy's point, which is like, yo, you should just go a lot, more onto the offense, put all the weapons you need, and then just go get it. Okay, I mean, that's an argument for that. I prefer how DaCosta in this case. I mean, I had criticized DaCosta. If you have been here for in this show, I criticized DaCosta plenty of times.
Yeah.
But DaCosta cap is methodically thought. Look, the question is right now, there's a position that is about to be extremely old and empty. The linemen, right?
Yes.
You have Campbell's a free agent. You have Brandon Williams that might get cut, and Derek Wolfe. Derek Wolfe is cheap. He's probably here next year. Okay. In my opinion, Brandon Williams is about to get a seriously paid cut. They're probably gonna release him and say, try to find a job, and if not, it's like a Derek Wolfe type of deal. So that would be for like he's making like 8 or 9 to like 3 or 4. And then with Campbell, they might say, yo, if you want to come back, here's a cheap deal. If you want to take it, this is how we can keep contending.
So that we can try and win another season.
Yeah, but I don't think they're pressing for keeping Campbell, because they're gonna say, Matabuke, is your time. And then next year they also have to draft D tackles, because if you create Brandon Williams, he might be here for a year. The other thing is, it's very hard to find a good nose tackle that eats space like Brandon Williams, right? So you need to draft that guy. They got Brandon Washington, Brunson Washington, whatever his name is. He might be, but I don't like him. Again, I predict that he's not gonna make the team. That's just my prediction. But right now, that's the position that they need to go base the salary cap. I think right now they have put a lot on the offense, right? Receivers were good. Next year, on the O-line is the only thing you had to monitor. We might need a right tackle next year. We might not. We'll see. Left tackle should be solidified. Your hope left guard is solidified. Bozeman is a free agent, so if you like him as a center, you pay him, and that will be solidified. Right guard solidified. So right tackle is a question mark. But after that, on offense, think about you have to pay Mark Andrews, but tight ends you're set. You have running backs you're set. You're hoping wide receivers you're set. So the offense you're set. On defense, right now, the lineman is a question mark. Not this year, next year. I'll say backer still, unless Jason Owe just comes and destroys the league, you need another outside backer, in my opinion. Again, maybe Fergie grows and takes a step up, but right now, prediction is you might need an outside backer. Linebackers, you're hoping between Harrison and PQ, they can solidify that. Corners, your hope is also those positions are solidified, because outside you're good. In the slot, the idea is Sean Wade should be overtaking, hopefully next year, if not the year after, over Kayvon Young. So that's another salary that you're not going to have next year. And then the safeties is the question mark, because I think they drafted one guy and got an undrafted free agent to play that free and have one of the other two guys playing strong. So you have very, very little holes, but there's some holes and you have to practice that. In the case of Lamar getting paid, this is when drafting is key. Drafting is key. Making sure
the best teams went through the draft.
Yes, make sure
not
you can
free
hit.
agency.
Yeah. Make sure you can hit. I mean, think about KC. KC's draft picks are still been fairly good even after Mahomes. That then you can keep building up.
Yeah. Also, secondarily, about the whole free agency thing, it just struck me about the whole Quincy point, where from his perspective, the Browns, for the past 3 years, they've gone almost all out on free agency trying to improve the roster.
Mm-hmm.
And it just hit me that the Browns and Ravens came from two different areas. The Browns, for the previous years before Baker, they didn't spend too much on the roster. They had a lot of cap rollover, and they had a lot of draft picks, which eventually grew and started making an impact right around this time. While the Ravens were usually a competitive team that always tried making the playoffs, and they would use a significant amount of their cap, never got in bad cap situations, but didn't give themselves as much flexibility. So that makes sense. It's understandable why the Ravens aren't as aggressive. They haven't had what I'm trying to get at is they haven't stockpiled assets the same way the Browns have, and the same way most teams with really young quarterbacks have. For example, the Bills, they were really bad before Josh Allen. The Dolphins, all of these other teams. The Ravens got Lamar with the 32nd pick. They were perennial playoff contenders, and they hit a home run while the other teams they hit a home run in their first attempt while the other teams took some time. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yes, no, I got you. I mean, the Browns basically have a bill being due soon. They have spent a lot of money and drafted well. I like the drafts. But also, let's consider this. Even during Baker's tenure, after his first year where he was a part-time starter, I think they had a top 10 pick. And then not last draft, the draft before it, they had another top 10 pick, which they went with the left tackle. So those are two high picks. Plus, they had the money. This is how you build a roster. Plus, Baker playing better. Plus, getting the right coach, right? They got Kitchen. I thought that was going to be a disaster, and it was. And now they got a real good coach. It seems legit. It seems like he is playing well, or he's coaching well.
Yeah.
So.
And my last thing I wanted to talk about was Greg Roman and the offense. One is, it kind of baffles me how Greg Roman is up there with Kyle Shanahan and the best run game designers. He's either one of the best or is the best at designing run game schemes and everything. But yet his route concepts are so poor. And my thoughts are either one, there's a lack of effort. I have a hard time believing that he's so good at design. He's creative enough in the run game to come up with all these different schemes and know when to call them. Yet in the pass game, he's inept. It's really bad. I'm pretty sure we've all seen the Kurt Warner video. And my thought on that was, one, the Ravens rarely ever leverage their run game on their pass game. I hope I see an improvement in that. Or would you put it more towards the wide receivers? The wide receivers not being as talented as you'd like.
You have definitely a talent gap. There's more talent here this year than I've seen before. There's also a scheme problem. There's also sometimes Lamar misses the receiver problem. There's a perfect storm, I will say. Greg Roman is not creative in the passing game. Yes, the hope is when we brought Greg Roman, we had Marty and blanking the last name.
Morning week.
Yes, thank you. And Greg Roman came to be a run coordinator, like a special run coordinator, whatever it was the title. And because Marty was just passing too much, right? Essentially, he didn't run the ball. Okay, so Greg Roman needs what he was to Marty, but to the other side. And then he needs to call the game into a better symmetrical and try to make the other team guess all the time. That's what he needs to do. Can he do it? We'll see. I don't even know what's his problem. But could be that we didn't have as much talent, so he was like, we were just killing it with the run. Let's just keep pushing the run.
I mean, you could say that, but you saw like with the Browns, they had basically Jarvis Landry and a bunch of misfits. Well, I don't want to call them misfits, but below par, at best average receivers. And yet their pass game against us on that Monday night game was clicking. yes, we had one cornerback, I forgot his name, who was below par, but still, Baker Mayfield was throwing dimes out there. And I really attribute that to Kevin Stefanski. That's head coach's name, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Kevin Stefanski. Leveraging the run game. He used a lot of play action, tied in his run game with his pass game. And by doing so, he made it a lot easier for Baker Mayfield. And at the same time, he didn't waste anything. Like with the Ravens, I remember against the Titans, you knew exactly when the Ravens were going to run and exactly when they were going to pass. What's the Ravens' biggest asset? Their damn run game. Yet they didn't use that to buffer their pass game, which was subpar. And I think that might be Greg Roman and the Ravens' biggest issue.
They need, and hopefully this year they can do it. They need to set up everything, play action, read option, whatever they want. Keep the defense guessing. Look, they have the ability now to keep the defense guessing. That's what they need to do. They didn't do it as much that last year or the past couple of years, the defense knew they were going to run. The problem is that the guys are running well enough. They were having success. I would say last year I saw a lot of runs going nowhere. It's just we also had a bunch that were big. So we were not disguising it as well as we thought or keeping the defense guessing. So hopefully this year they can add that layer.
Yeah. And lastly, with the whole Ravens sorry, I've been going on for quite a while.
It's okay.
But lastly, the whole Ravens issue in the playoffs, I find it kind of funny how the media likes to twist it, how it's because Lamar's having a bad game. But in all of those games, whenever you notice it, whenever you watch the tape and break it down, the defense's first priority is we got to stop Lamar Jackson. Once they stop Lamar Jackson, the Ravens offense holds. And in my opinion, the next question is, okay, somebody else is going to have to step up and carry. In the Titans game, the one game that we won out of the 4 attempts, we noticed that Marquise Brown, he stepped up. He stepped up big time. The Ravens schemed him up. They used him as a focal point of the offense a good 4 or 5 times, and he got really large chunk plays that moved the chain. And in that game, there were Marquise Brown beat them in those plays. It wasn't just Lamar Jackson. There were a few plays in there where Lamar Jackson on his own beat them, but Marquise Brown stepped up. And my issue is, in all of the games that we've lost, basically nobody stepped up. In all of the games, there are so many drop passes and everything, and it's almost always blamed on Lamar when they quite literally say, stop Lamar Jackson and the Ravens offense will fail, yet they never acknowledge how nobody else is stepping up. But that's just the gist of it, I guess.
Yeah, I will just put this out here. Look, I think the main thing for the Buffalo game, both quarterbacks were struggling. Both. Allen didn't have a good game. But problem is, if I ask you what turned that game over, what was the point where you're like, this game is over from here? What's the pick?
Lamar went out.
What was the pick, right? Now, I can tell you that after the pick, if Lamar wouldn't go out, I still have faith because we were going towards the win and not against the win. But that pick made it feel like, oh, my God, because no quarterback was playing good. So it made it 17-3. So at that point, you're like, man, I think it's over, right? And then Lamar goes out, and you're like, okay, definitely over. But that was a turning point in that game. That pick was huge because at worst, you're hoping, well, I can take 3 points and keep it 9, keep it under 2 digits, going towards the win. So that was a big one. So, yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with Lamar, but when you go to those playoff games, especially the last one, you can argue the reason they lost. The reason why they were competitive at all in that game was Lamar. You can also argue that game was lost because of that bad pick.
I actually disagree. I think that offense in whole didn't do too well. Lamar did his part. Nobody else stepped up, but he didn't outplay. I think the reason why we're in it was the defense and probably the weather. But also, one thing about the play is I didn't lose I felt really terribly, and I was like, man, the odds are stacked against us. But I didn't lose too much faith because even in that game, like there were 3 field goals that Justin Tucker kicked. He missed 2 of them. We had 3 points instead of 9. It was 9-17, and after the pick, let's just say Justin Tucker happened to make those. The game looks a lot more different. There were a lot of things I went against the Ravens. I thought there were some really bad play calls I went against the Ravens, and also the pick. Like, how unfortunate is that? I mean, one, yes, the pick was really bad, but to return it almost 100 yards, that's just bad luck. That's an extremely unlikely play. But yeah, that's it for me. I appreciate you having me on.
Take care, bro.
Thanks.
Let's go with the last caller. Let's go with the last caller here.
Hey, what's going on, bro?
Yo, Guardian, how you doing, man?
Well, I'm doing all right, man. Just taking it day by day. How about you, brother?
I'm doing fine. You know, same like you, getting excited because every day is a day closer to football.
All right, amen, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, I've been, enjoying the listening from you guys, man. AFC North was very interesting. Yes, last week, man. I can't wait for the next episode. Yeah, that was something special, bro. Like that was, yeah. That's all I can say is yeah. That means a lot.
This week we're gonna do records, so I'm sure people are gonna get their feelings hurt again.
Right. Yeah, for real, man. But other than that, man, like, how do you feel about what the ongoing, situation for us, just across the board, or step by step, I should say?
You mean as a team? How the team looks?
Yeah, as a team. Yes, sir.
I feel good. Meaning, I think the offense, they need time to click, but I'm feeling good on the weapons. Like we cannot go and say, oh, there's no weapons. There's just plenty of weapons for Lamar. Now, the question is, will the coaching staff utilize these weapons well? Second, will Lamar take advantage of these guys? When I say take advantage, Lamar likes sometimes to throw behind. Most of these guys, Wallace, maybe it's some of the tight ends, but most of these guys, they would thrive if you throw it. Well, that's true for any receiver. But Bateman's and Duvernay and Hollywood specifically, if you throw it ahead, now you can, because they're fast, you can get some yardage on top of the play, right? So that's one thing. My big question in the offense is the O-line, right? Especially center, left guard, and right tackle, which is 3 of the 5th, right? That is huge. I'm hoping the left guard will be solidified. I'm hoping the center postman is ready, and then it's just right tackle. I assume this was going to happen with Alejandro Villanueva. I'm hoping he's ready. On the defensive side, obviously, I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable. But the pass rush is always worries me. But the Ravens say, F it, we're just going to blitz until, and that's how we're going to generate the pass rush. And that has worked with them before. So defense should be solid again.
Yeah, I feel you right there, man. Like, I'm on, like, most of the time, like all the time, almost. I'm right there with you. I concur with most of it. It's just the offensive line, that shit scares me a lot due to the fact that, like, Stanley just getting back from injury, and we're all hooting and hollering. Well, not most of us are hooting and hollering. Yeah, he's back, but at the same time, though, in all honesty, I don't want him to play a preseason game until the last one, just to knock off some rust. But I'm pretty sure he's not gonna be as rusty as as I think. He shouldn't be that rusty. But at the same time, though, I would like to play him just play one preseason game, get it under his belt. So the fact that when the season kicks around, it's not like, oh snap, you know what I mean. Just little to none rust. That's why I like.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the backup tackle situation, that scares the hell out of me. Or just but due to the fact that we still don't have an idea of who should be the left guard. When the pride and joy of Baltimore and Ben Cleveland was supposed to be the guy, right? Yeah. But like you've been, Ricky mixed bag reports, right? Mixed bag feelings on reports. One day you say, oh, he's good at, obviously he's good at run blocking coming out of Georgia, or supposed to be. And when it comes to the pass protection, that's where he looks stiff, slow. That's where the negativity comes from.
Yep.
And with that being said, they're taking Tyree Phillips and making him play left guard.
That's BS.
And then the fact that John Harbaugh was talking about, hey, I want him to strictly play left tackle or play tackle, so he can get better at his craft at that position instead of bouncing back and forth. So if you really think about the situation, bro, we're literally right back to where we was last year when it comes to figuring out who should we be starting and who should we be moving. The only thing that's solidified right now is the right guard, center, and Bozeman, we're going to see during the preseason games. What's up?
No, we're hoping that he solidified the center position.
Exactly, man. It's one of those things where it sort of goes back to what I think one of your previous callers was mentioning about, taking more chances in the draft. Mm-hmm. In all honesty, we took chances, but at the same time, but we did some WTF picks, like some what the fuck picks at the same time. Excuse my language, but we somewhat did that because of the fact that we could have picked up Ben Mason as a UDFA. I like Tylan Wallace. Don't get me wrong. Go ahead. What you about to say, bro?
No. I say yes. Yes, you're right.
Yeah. Like Tylan Wallace. Like I'm glad that we doubled down on the receiver, but at the end of the day, we could have got the kid from Wisconsin Whitewaters, Quentin Miners. Could have got him at center at that time, bro. Like literally, that draft was full of tackles and interior play. Like that whole draft from pick round number 1 to round number 7, in all honesty. And the fact that we didn't, not only thing we got was a guard, that was like, I know they already had the solidified in Villanueva, but at the same time though, like it just rubbed me the wrong way in that draft. It was a good draft, don't get me wrong, but at the same time it's like, damn, we could have got this, but we end up getting things that just we already had a surplus amount on. But yeah, man, that's how I feel on it, man. What's your take on it?
I mean, I don't disagree. I think, again, I said earlier, I don't think Phillips should sniff anything in the interior. He's not a good player right now. This doesn't mean that he cannot be a good player. But I can tell you this, every time I see him in the interior, you would think Donald is the one rushing because he always gets beat. On the outside, he's a little better. He's not great, but he's a little better. And definitely Lamar can help masquerade some of the mistakes he makes on the outside. And the inside, Lamar cannot masquerade what he does bad. Ben Cleveland, I said this like the week after we drafted Cleveland. I said remember he's a rookie. I know everybody's hype. I know he looks like he should be in Game of Thrones, but he's a rookie. He's a rookie that made it all the way to the end of the 3rd round. There's a reason why. It's not only because he's a guard, he has deficiencies. In my opinion, and I kept saying this, Ben Powers probably going to be ahead of him. Now, my question is, and I know we probably won't know the answer to this, but is Ben Powers just playing right guard right now? Who's playing right guard? I have no idea. But even because the Ravens interior could just go to the preseason game and say, Cleveland, you're going to go left guard. Powers, you're going to go right guard. Okay, that gives them snaps. I want both of them just to battle for a left guard position at this point, and whoever wins, wins. And Phillips, again, should not be sniffing anything. Just make him the left tackle to start the game. Get him a bunch of reps. You can move him to right tackle. Just give him – he needs just reps after reps after reps. In the center, I'm just hoping Bozeman is. But, there's positions that you need next year. D-tackle – and possibly O-line, right? Depending how this O-line gels. Ideally, in a perfect world, you have your left tackle Ronnie Stanley, and you have Powers or Ben Cleveland in the left guard and playing well, and you have Bozeman playing well, and you have the right guard position on Siler playing well, and you might have to draft for another right guard for the future, but if not, you still have him for next year. And the right tackle is the guy that you have to fix to get next year. If plays good or bad, he's essentially here for a 1-year deal. So, and I know people are like, oh, we had Juwan might never play, So it's important for us the next year to choose to fill that hole. in the right tackle position.
Right. And I completely agree with you on that, man. Like Zyler at right guard, that's awesome. But everything else, like here's the thing that I try to get people to think about is the fact that it should scare the hell out of people that we're moving Tyree Phillips at guard when we have Cleveland, all the Bens in the world, got Ben Powers, Ben Bredesen, Makari. I mean, like just multiple plethora of guards. But we're moving Phillips, like we have minimal tackles right now because Jawan Jennings that we signed, he's still with the Achilles. He's not going to be back till next year, and that just really bothers the hell. I mean, like, damn, you mean to tell me we have to move him, even though we got all these guys that are playing at guard. So that's one thing, bro. Well, yeah, man. Just for the defense side, bro. Like I'm super. Like, Owe is winning me over. But at the same time, though, I'm not trying to put all my eggs in the basket, like, and on him. But the fact that I just want to see what this interior pass rush can. I just want to know what they can do and how they're going to hold up. Because the fact that I think a lot of us, we're putting a lot of pressure on Matabese or Matabuke, wherever you want to call him, is the fact that, like, Broderick Washington or somebody needs to step up along with him. Because just imagine, just how last year, the COVID reasons or injuries, it could be any of those choices. Knock on wood, hopefully none of that happens. But the moment that gets down, that messes up the rotation, which increases the snap count for Matabuke. And I would like to keep him fresh at all times. And that's another thing that it's possible he can get over 6 sacks. I'm with that, but if we're thinking like anything higher than that, man, like that's like
wait for who? For JB?
For Matabuke.
JM? Okay. Yeah, man, from the interior it's gonna be hard to get sacks. But yeah, I think 3 or 4 at most. That would be great.
But at the same time, I don't think it would be hard because of the fact that we if Owe is who everybody thinks Owe is gonna be though, and along with having Bowser or whoever is gonna be on the opposite side of the Sam. For the rotation wise, it's our problem was last year's the fact that we couldn't. It wasn't Yannick did a hell of a job. I don't care what anybody say. Yannick was literally the only man consistently getting pressure. But the fact that we had no push up the middle to save our lives due to either injuries or COVID. After when Calais Campbell got back, from COVID, he didn't look the same. Yep. Big Baby, of course, he's just a stuffer. And then Derek Wolf, poor soul. He was playing literally over 100 snaps a game, almost I would say not 100 snaps a game, but over exaggerated. But literally, he was playing basically literally holding it down in the middle. So that's what I'm saying. If they can just stay healthy in the middle, and the push is going to be there. It's either the arc, the edge is going to get there, or whoever steps in the pocket, Matabuke is going to expose them, or whoever is going to, or Campbell, somebody.
I don't disagree.
And that's the thing. I'm not. Go ahead, bro.
I was going to say, I don't disagree, but I think one thing I will say is the expectation of Owe from the fan base. I agree with you. Owe has won me over, but my expectations, again, it's a guy that is very raw. We need to temper expectations with Owe. If Owe finishes the year with 5 sacks, I'll be like, holy crap. That's amazing. 5 sacks for him will be great. What I need from Owe is don't get baited in out of position, meaning when he needs to set the edge, go set the edge, don't over pursue. That's because those are when you messed up, those go with big games. The sacks, I think it will come. The sacks will come, but I don't want him to just be, oh my God, I need the sack, and then let the running back leak out of position, and he gets out of position, the running back leaks in a flat, boom, 15-yard gain because he as an outside backer didn't just stay go in the flat, right? But yeah, I mean, I like Maravike a lot. It reminds me, I'm blanking this dude's name. He was from Michigan. The problem with him was injuries, but he was killing it from the inside, and the injuries told him away. Henry, yes,
really Henry.
Henry, when Henry was healthy, you can see where he flashed. Problem with Henry was he was barely healthy, which is sad. And then obviously career got derailed. But Maravika, I think, is a talented dude, and he's essentially rotating between Campbell and Wolf. So I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine. In the case again, we'll see. And then remember, we also have Houston, so I'm hoping Houston has a good year with us.
Yes, sir. Well, yeah, man, that's all I want to say. Other than that, what we talked about just recently, and also I just want to claim my hype train. I am the conductor of the Chris Westry hype train. I would say that right now, just in case anybody was wondering. If you don't, I'm just playing. But anyway, when it comes to, I'm just ready, man. I'm really psyched, man. Across the board, I literally just almost forgot that we got Justin Houston for someone. I went full retard. I forgot about that. I can't wait to see the show tomorrow between you guys. And what we're talking about, the coaching, or what we're talking about tomorrow?
Tomorrow is gonna be records.
Records?
Yes, record prediction, man. And then after that, we're gonna take a break for a couple of weeks, and we'll be back the week before the season starts.
Hey, man, I know you're in a whole different time zone like I used to be, but man, hey, we need to get a round table to happen, bro. Like seriously, we need that as the Raven Flock Nation, man, whatever you want to call ourselves.
Yep. I know. I will say this. I know. We're trying, as the Ravens YouTubers are trying to put a roundtable together. We're working on it. I will say this. I don't know if I'm going to participate. Obviously not because of nothing personal with the guys. It's hard for them to add me if they're going to stream at 7, it's midnight for me.
Ooh,
right. So it's going to be hard. We're working on it. We'll see, but yeah, I might. I'll say I might. It all depends, date and all that. But yeah, the guys are working on it. We want to have a round table with the Ravens. But yeah, so tomorrow for the AFC North talk, it is records. And then I'll say this, guys. When I do my record prediction for tomorrow, nobody's gonna go a lot in depth on the record. So don't expect everybody to break each game, because if not, we will never finish. Plus, people's feelings get hurt and super chats start flying. But I'm making a separate video, not live, but a separate video of my prediction. And then at that point, I'll go game on game on game. So just stay tuned for that.
Oh yeah, man! But I can't wait to see the show tomorrow, man. Hopefully, everybody hit the like and subscribe to my man Sonny, and also to the AFC North talk, man. Hey, enjoy the show tomorrow, because it'll be a good one, especially with my two favorite guys, Tony and Quincy. They're out of this world with their predictions and their bold predictions, I should say.
I can't wait, man. I can't wait. I love those guys. I love them. Thank you, man. Take care.
All right, bro. You too.
Right. Anyway, as Garnett was saying, tomorrow, 5:45 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be on the AFC North Talk. If you haven't checked, go check AFC North Talk. It's a great show. It's basically a roundtable between Steeler, myself, a Ravens fan, Quincy, which is a Browns fan, Ace, a Bengals, Tony is the one from the Steelers. And tomorrow we're going to do record prediction. It should be fun. So make sure you go over there. If you haven't subscribed, hit that reminder. That way when we go live, And again, after that, we're going to take a couple weeks off. And make sure, again, if you don't hit that bell, the problem is YouTube then stuff notify you for some reason. Because if we take a week or two off, that's how YouTube works. Anyway, thank you, everybody, for joining. Hopefully you have fun in this show. Hey, take care. Make sure be a good citizen in this world and have fun, enjoy life. And Raven season is about to be lit. It's coming. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next Monday or tomorrow. AFC Talk. Peace out.